Hello and welcome to 9 Charge. A very warm welcome to you to the channel, and today we're going to have a look at some new information that has appeared about the upcoming Stormcast Dragon release. We've got a Warhammer community article that talks about the Storm Drake Guard and their specific ability in matched play and a bit of rebalancing and points. And also we're going to have a look at this year's Warhammer Festive Guide, because that's got some information about Krondys and about pricing. Of course, as I always say, if you enjoy this video, please drop it a like. I know a lot of YouTubers always say it, but it does really mean a lot, and it will help people find the channel in this first year. And also, if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, covering future releases, please be sure to subscribe. The first thing to say is that, to be honest, this is one of the very best Warhammer community articles that I've ever read. It's very honest and very open from Games Workshop, which is a stance they haven't always taken in the past. They're very upfront about how there's issues with international shipping, and this has caused delays in the Storm Drake Guard. In the past, they haven't really announced this and just gone back and re-edited the articles so that they look like they're coming out later than they previously stated. So this is a very welcome break from their previous stance. It's just great to see a company just willing to openly communicate with people who care about their product. This delay in the Storm Drake Guard has given rise to more time for playtesting, and I think the pennies dropped a little bit at Games Workshop HQ that they are definitely underpointed. This is an observation that we've made on the channel in the Storm Drake Guard War Scroll review. Definitely I agree that they're underpointed. To be honest with you, this isn't something that is uncommon to Warhammer Age of Sigmar, if I'm honest, that, you know, the new release is the best release and that they sort of hang around the top of the meta for a little while before things settle down and the FAQ comes in. So it's really cool to see Games Workshop are responding to this in time for the release to make things a bit more balanced. And they've said they want to let us know the points ahead of time because they know that will inform our purchases of how many dragons we'll get, and they know that we like to plan our list in advance, and especially if you're going to take an all dragon list, if the points change, then obviously your army is going to change quite a lot. So again, this is just brilliant communication, great for them for being upfront. Just thinking about their customer, thinking about the player base, thinking about players that don't, that want to be involved in the game and just don't want to get steamrolled by these alpha striking, mortal wound breathing monstrosities. So only the points for the knight-draconis and the Storm Drake Guard have changed. Krondys and Karazia are staying the same. They're both fixed at 600 points each. Now, the knight-draconis was previously 255 points, with the Storm Drake Guard being 285 points for 2 or 145 points for 1. This meant that in a 2,000 point army you could have 6 units of 2 Storm Drake Guard, so 12 of those, led by 1 knight-draconis for 13 dragons in total. The new pointing is 300 points for a knight-draconis, 340 points for 2 Storm Drake Guard, or 170 for 1 on their own. This now means that 5 units of Storm Drake Guard and 1 knight-draconis is exactly 2,000 points. Now, will the absence of 2 Storm Drake Guard in a 2,000 point list rebalance the meta fully and make a massive difference? Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see until we are able to playtest these for ourselves and see how they're doing in the tournament scene before we can really make a decision on that. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. And as I said, I really appreciate Games Workshop being open and honest about this and trying to correct it ahead of time, which is usually not the case. Sometimes things come out that are broken and you have to wait until the FAQ, and it takes quite a long time. Oh, and the article at the end did say that they are working on a balancer update for the game as a whole, and that will be coming in December. Okay, so on to the festive guide. I managed to get hold of a festive guide when I went to my local Games Workshop, and it's really cool and lots of fun little things in there, to be honest, and a little game you can play with the red gobbo, which is great. But in there is a page called Big Cool Gifts, and under Big Cool Gifts, of course, is a big cool dragon. So Krondys, son of Dracothian, is in there. A magnificent new dragon joins the battle. This kit can be built as Krondys or his brother Karazia and stands on a whopping 160mm base. So this tells us, it confirms that it's a dual kit, which we already suspected because of the wings, and the poses are quite similar. It tells us the base size, which is going to be 160mm, and it tells us that the price is going to be £95, which is an equivalent to $120 US, which is pretty much in range with what we suspected. To be honest, this puts him cheaper than Kragenos, cheaper than a Mega Gargant, but a bit more than the gash. So it's kind of in that ballpark. It's kind of in the expected range, but it's just nice to know that little bit of information ahead of time. And lastly, and very importantly for Games Workshop as a company actually, the article did say that these dragons will be joining your army in time for Christmas. And I know lots of people will be wanting these for Christmas and in time for Christmas and ready to start the new year painting them. So that's great news that they've managed to do that. Obviously, you know, they'd be missing out massively if they didn't get that done by Christmas, because surely they've got to be top of everybody's Christmas list. Okay, so that's everything that we know so far from the article and from the festive guide. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Let me know what you think about the article as well, because I found the article really interesting and quite a really great stance from Games Workshop. Let me know if you're looking forward to taking these dragons. Let me know especially if you're going to take an all-dragon army. I was planning on picking up a couple for an event that I've got coming up in a couple of weeks, but unfortunately now it will be too late for me to be able to take them. So instead I'm going to be rocking the Celestant Prime. So wish me luck there, and I will catch you next time.